Road Break family, welcome to every single one of you to the weekly show in wrestling, the weekly events that we're going to be talking about. And we always do like the three shows, lots of things to talk about. Also, unfortunately, somebody that is really important in the world of professional wrestling passed away. So welcome. We're going to have a good time. So, join, comment, let us know what you guys feel about every single thing that is happening in the shows this week. Lots of news, more build up, more stuff for what is going to be Extreme Rules from Philly PA Poll. So excited because it seems that it's going to be one of the best version of Extreme Rules as of late, right?
Yeah, the one thing you could really say about Extreme Rules, you're not looking at it in the past where we would be like, okay, we have two matches that are Extreme Rules, and then the rest of the card is just normal singles matches, tag matches, what have you. Triple H there's a different stipulation, but each of them is, you could say, quote unquote, extreme. You have a ladder match. You have a no hold barred, I think, or something like that. You have
Extreme Rules.
You have an Extreme Rules. You have a fight pit. That's what the fight pit, and you have the strap match. So you have a lot of different, stuff going on that, again, like all extreme. You're going to see people bruised, battered, possibly even bloody. So I am looking forward to it, but unfortunately, we do still have to sit through some bad wrestling, especially on Monday nights, and for the company across the street on Wednesday. But we'll talk about that in a little bit later.
Yeah, there you go. And always, Pato always supports, on YouTube. Thank you, Pato. Hola, amigos. Un fabuloso y fantástico saludo a todos. Juan, Jean Paul, muchos éxitos. Pretty much he's saying big hi, and lots of success for you and Jean Paul. So thank you, Pato, for always supporting. Gracias por siempre apoyarnos.
Gracias, Pato.
See, there you go. So family, again, we're actually live on Facebook. We're on YouTube, not on Twitter. So please, let us know. Stop by, drop a comment.
And look at this. Pato proves it that Rope Break is worldwide. Exactly. We're not just America, we're all over.
Desde Ecuador, saludos al Independiente del Valle, campeón de la Copa Sudamericana. So, guys, let's focus, Paul, to talk about this first, the show on Monday Night RAW, because it was a pretty decent show. Bianca Belair defeating Io Sky kind of bothers me a little bit, but, it was a good match. We saw that Bianca Belair going strong to this match that it was actually determined at that point, the ladder match. But what do you think? Bianca is still going strong with that rivalry with Bayley.
The booking is almost just like the Usos with Roman Reigns, where, okay, they're the tag champs, so in tag matches, they're going to win and they're going to look legit, but then when you book the tag champions in singles matches like Io Sky here, you obviously know she's going to do the job, or they're going to be, the flunkies, they're going to be the jobbers to the main woman or the main person in charge, which would be Bayley here. So, I mean, obviously Bianca was going to win. Nobody thought any different. You're not really going to get that kind of heat on Bianca and have her lose. You want her to look strong going into the match, because this one, we're a week away, so we do have one more Monday Night Raw coming up, so there is, a go-home show, but, as of right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a title switch, because
they have to do a title switch,
because Bianca had a good reign.
To give control damage more important, and to make the group the main group in Monday Night Raw, especially. They're going both shows. They're on SmackDown, they're on Raw, but Bayley needs that, because I feel that with the group and everything, she's not as solid as she could be.
Yeah, exactly. And you could play the numbers game. The ref could, be blinded, take a bump, whatever. He doesn't see it, and they get the win over Bianca, and then Bianca could chase them for a little bit, so the feud, you get a couple matches out of it. But I think Bayley should go over. I agree with you for all the reasons you just said.
Yeah, no, it should be. It's a good, it's a good call for what it comes to Bianca Belair. We also saw this match that 2 or 3 years ago we saw this big feud. Remember, so many
my eye.
Yeah,
and then now Ray has his eye back.
Kane and all of that. Seth Rollins with Rey Mysterio. So again, a good match. Rollins kind of deviating away from Matt Riddle, and Rey Mysterio still the story with his son. So cool match and everything, but I don't know if this was necessary. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to keep Rollins warm, because it's what do you do with him? It's Rollins is. You got it, and it was same thing with Ray, because then Ray, obviously the feud is him and Dominic, but that you would think would be some kind of big pay-per-view, whether it's maybe the Royal Rumble or even WrestleMania. So you're not going to have them be feuding right now. So his whole thing is like Kane and Undertaker. I won't fight my brother. I won't fight my son. Kind of going that vibe. So you got to kind of keep Ray warm as well. You don't want him to completely cool off. But yeah, I mean, with Randy Orton being hurt, and we'll talk about Randy Orton also in a little bit. They're missing some and Cody Rhodes. They're missing some big pieces on Monday Night Raw, which a lot of these guys.
Out of the three shows, because we can include NXT 2.0 and all of that. Do you think that Raw is really missing caliber athletes? I think that even the main event is improvised a lot of times.
Yeah, they don't have
more, better people. I want to.
They don't have a champion. I mean, Bobby Lashley's great, but man, Bobby Lashley was even better when he was a heel and he had MVP. That's when Bobby Lashley was at the top of the mountain. He's still on the mountain, but he's not at the top. There is nobody at the top. Roman Reigns, SmackDown is the #1 show, right? That's Roman Reigns' show. Even though he has both belts, SmackDown is his show. They need that guy to beat Roman for one of the belts if you're not going to unify them. But you see so much talent crossing over between these shows, I almost feel like there is no brand split. It's just like WWE wrestling on Monday night and on Friday night. The names of the shows don't mean anything. So
no, yeah, it's true. I mean, there's no more brand split. That's an idea that's completely over. Is just completely, nobody really cares about that anymore. But this show needs a little bit of, like you said, more Roman Reigns. Like, at least, I mean, there was a lot of reports that they wanted to make Bobby Lashley the main champion for Monday Night Raw. The best idea for me would just be to just take one of the titles away from Roman, put it on somebody from Monday Night Raw. That way both shows are competing in the same level. They both have a champion. That is something that they should do. Like you say, remember Bailey, and we talked about this a little bit ago, ladder match. This is going to be good, but these girls already have had all these type of matches. Remember, they did Hell in a Cell a few years ago. Something that it was cool to talk about is the debut of Monday Night Raw Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano's wife. She's back in the WWE, and I mean, does it add something to this potential feud? Control damage with Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai going against, we saw Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and now this girl. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a woman who is a good wrestler. You have her on the division, so that's great. You have her there to wrestle, and challenge for whoever's the champion, or if she's in a tag team or whatever. And excuse me, another good point for this is when Nikki Ash loses, now she's back to overly Nikki Cross. The mask came off, no more dumb superhero. That was clearly a Vince and Bruce Pritchard gimmick. So, that was stupid. We're done with that. So, I had no problem with this.
I mean, like you said, the only thing with that is I feel bad for Nikki Ash because remember, the idea was solid at some point. I'm not going to tell you it was great. But, she won the championship. Remember, she won the Money in the Ladder match. It was cool. Maybe they can do something. Remember, the gimmick always have
to me, it's only good for little children because there's no way if you look at wrestling and you want to compare it and put it on the same level of an NFL or an MMA or, even soccer, hockey, anything where it's these are athletes really trying and it's legit. You see somebody in a cape and a mask, come on, that's not legit.
Yeah, no, it is true. Like you said, it's not something that you would like to do or people will be paying attention completely. But like you said, hopefully Nikki Ash is gone and now we get to see another version more solid. And the Nikki Cross is able to be just her. Because the tag team with Doudrop completely didn't work. They tried to just won the NXT UK championships and all of that, or the titles. It was just not good. This was decent. I know that this is your favorite storyline. Sami Zayn with Solo Sikoa. This is cool because he however possible way he wants to be part of the bloodline. This is just cool how they put this in Wikipedia, the pictures. They keep playing that storyline. I really like it. And he defeated AJ Styles. So this is a good important win. They're trying
this was going. Good too. Because, again, you think, man, AJ hasn't done nothing for the longest time. You think, okay, tag champ with Omos, but really, does that even mean anything? No, not really. What has he done? Prominent, you think, Undertaker, Boneyard? Oh, my God, is that really the last?
That's true, almost 3 years ago.
But, excuse me, the one thing here is he kind of has there's the stuff with the Judgment Day, so whatever's that worth, he's at least involved in something. Does that tease? Maybe he'll join up with Edge. We got to see, how they plan that out. But yeah, you got to do something with AJ, I think.
Yes, this is important. Again, Sami Zayn is just playing that goofy character, but at the same time, the goofiness is what makes the bloodline interesting. just because he's like he feels like an outcast that like no matter what he wants to be part of that group. And like Jimmy hates him, but Solo Sikoa is helping out, so somewhat they are in cahoots. Somewhat they're trying to just being as a group trying to be believable. Unfortunately, it's not working for a lot of people.
And the only other thing that was kind of a head scratcher for me, I mean, I know Roman, okay, he's the double champ, Usos double champ, but why are these guys on Raw? You know what I mean? It's like you can be Damage Control. Makes sense because the tag champs, both shows, okay, whatever, Bailey's their leader, manager, whatever, the head woman. But these guys really don't make any sense being on Raw. They're SmackDown. So, I mean, it was good match, everything else. I do like the story. Sami Zayn is, he's one of my favorites right now. And this whole, we'll talk about it more on SmackDown. But, it was just one of those things where they got to fill 3 hours of TV time.
Absolutely, like I kind of like, I like it, but again, it tells you that like there's not solid storylines for each show. They have to merge everybody to just be able to come out with the weekly shows. So like the main event that we saw on this, it was Matt Riddle with Damian Priest. Really good match. At times they were, towards the end a bit sloppy, just because like I think Damian Priest was trying to do the reckoning and Riddle kept countering that. I enjoyed it, and I knew that Riddle was gonna win because all the members of the Judgment, they were just down there. By ringside, and as soon as like he did this roll up, they start attacking him. All of that, they started like pretty much overpowering 4 against 1 because Rhea Ripley does get involved, and we get to see the return of this guy. That like it surprises me because I heard first he was going to be off. He was not going to be part of Extreme Rules. It started to be that like hey, they were able to do it, and he's going to be part actually of the pay-per-view on its own. He spears Finn Balor, and after that he goes, hey, we have a match here. I'm challenging you to a I Quit match. This is good. For the first time ever, Rated R Superstar Edge going against Prince Balor.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I think that, well, I mean, I said I make a bold prediction, so I can't double back on it now, but I think Finn Balor's got to go over. Yeah, and I'll find to admit being wrong, but you see all these reports. Hey, the new regime, everybody in charge, big plans for Finn Balor. Big plans don't include losing to Edge. Edge has already had his time in the sun, and he's also untouchable. He's one of those guys who's made of gold. He can lose, one big win, and he's already in the main event because of who he is, his pedigree, and everything else. So,
absolutely, what you're saying, so this is gonna be good though.
I'm looking forward to it. I think they're gonna put on a hell of a match.
That the report of like big plan for Edge, for Finn Balor rather. This means that Edge is going to put him over, just because Edge at this point of his career probably he's trying to do that. He doesn't really care unless he has matches with people that he wants to face, and this is one of them, the ones that like he's been saying for like ever since he came back. Oh, Finn Balor,
and they've already done shit where people have gone to Edge's house. Who was the last person who went to Edge's? Randy Orton. Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
you could even do something again where they have Rhea Ripley and Dominic. They could have Beth Phoenix tied up with somewhere, and we're gonna zap her with the car battery or whatever the hell, and I quit.
They should, exactly. Take it a little bit.
They could do anything. So that way, Edge isn't just I quit because you're hurting my neck. It's you do it for your wife, and 99 guys out of 100 would do the same thing. So.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. So that will be cool. Well, this is announced another match for Extreme Rules. This is pretty good because, again, this type of matches make sense. They have a good storyline going on here with like Sheamus, Rich Holland, and also Butch or Pete Dunne against Imperium. On Sunday, on next Friday rather, we're going to see Sheamus going in Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship one more time. I feel that this is going to be a good match, and especially the 6 guys have a lot of chemistry together. I'm looking forward for this just because, hey, more action between Sheamus and Gunther is good. That was the
I mean, 6 to me, honestly, I mean, this is just a normal 6-man. There's no stipulation, no nothing like that. I would do this match on SmackDown, and I mean, what the hell we said, and our favorite match of Clash at the Castle was, Walter and Sheamus.
Yes.
So I would do that single match at the pay-per-view, give these guys 20 minutes again, put them in a steel cage, but not a steel cage where escape is to win. A steel cage, almost like Hell in a Cell, pretty much. Just put them in a cage where they just beat the hell out of each other, or some kind of stipulation, but these guys don't need toys, but you need to make their match more you know, you need to somehow up the ante. I don't know, do something. Not an Iron Man match, nothing like that, because these guys are like fighters. They're not technical wrestlers. But to me, the only reason you're doing a 6-man is to get everybody a pay-per-view payoff. That's the only reason, to get everybody on the show. That's the only reason, because this doesn't mean anything. It's not like, oh, it's a 6-man, but the title's still on the line. So even if, you know, Pete Dunne pins Giovanni, you know, Sheamus is the new champ. No, it's not like that's how it works.
You know what? They should add that, because at least that makes the match more watchable. They make you, like, they give you reasons to fight.
That's what I said. The only thing is, like, what? So if, you know, are you going to pin Walter in this match? I mean, that would go over like a plate full of piss. I don't think anybody would care about that.
Probably.
It would ruin him.
Thinking is, you know, they probably will have Sheamus lose to Gunther for the title, and then in this match, probably, you know, Sheamus and everybody else will get the pin and get the win. That way, they both look in kind of 50-50. You know, like, not to just give Imperium, which Imperium should be the main group. Remember, we said,
and I mean, we'll talk about the, you know, and maybe they will change it at the last minute. Maybe they will do the bait and switch and the swerve. Maybe the match on Friday will go crazy. You know, we got to watch and find out. You know, that they were texting me right now. They were like, hey, yeah, it is. You know, why are you spoiling it?
Yeah, somebody's texting John Paul. He's like, hey, you know, whatever you're going to say, make sure it's good, you know?
Yeah, but no, that was Triple H. He's like, why are you ruining the booking for everybody? But
yeah.
No, that, you know, the one thing we're going to talk about on SmackDown, great segment between, you know, Imperium and Sheamus.
Yes, that was really, really cool. They jump him on all of that. You know, like, if you want to, we can just right away pass it like to SmackDown, because that's what the people want. We want to like just be WWE right now. Hey,
we'll save AEW for last.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that great anymore, but like this show on AEW, on SmackDown, we got another like scene between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. These guys are like best friends. Everybody loves to see these things. I liked it because, you know, the guys deserve the best. I mean, Kevin Owens has got a little better than Sami Zayn. So at some point, I heard that like Kevin Owens said that he wants to become champs with Sami Zayn, tag champs. This will be cool. But again, he's like, take off that shirt, that doesn't look good on you, or something like that. So this is cool. I like this. I mean, what do you think, Paul? I know this is the best part for you, for like what it is, like, you know, SmackDown.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, again, everything, you know, the bloodline, they look great. Sami Zayn looks like a fly in a milk bowl. He stands out like a sore thumb. And, you know, the whole thing is, you know, this is kind of good for Kevin Owens, because kind of keeps him in the main event. But then Kevin Owens is in the main event, because, you know, what we saw a little later and stuff. And so, I mean, excuse me, I don't know. It's just some guys, you don't want to say feel directionless, but it's like, where does their feud go? Where are they going? I mean, obviously the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn thing, I think is a very long-term thing, you know, because Sami Zayn has to run his story through with the bloodline. But, you know, it is good. I do like it. But, you know, with the main event, we'll talk about in a little bit, didn't like quite as much.
No, yeah, that's like, you know, this show, I mean, without Roman Reigns, you got to, like, I guess, improvise a lot. And I feel that all the shows without the main champion, without your guy, without the main guy, I feel like
because next week we're seeing Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. So that's, you know, so that's the big thing. You know, you're not going to get Roman 2 weeks in a row. You know, that they're not that nice. You know, he's already prepping, you know, he's already getting us ready and used to him being, you know, not, you know, here every week. So
that's all it is. You know, he is just a part-timer, and that's what we got to accept from him. He does the kind of contract that he signed. And, you know, I feel that, like, it's decent for what it is. And the one thing is just, like, I feel that because he's not going to be part of Extreme Rules, he's going to be in this show, because, again, the show, I feel that suffers a little bit without him. So for that reason,
because there's no, and again, the Intercontinental title's not on the line. Does Bobby Lashley even have a match?
No. That's the thing. You know, like, I mean, he's trying, you know, Triple H is trying, but I don't know. Like, the one thing.
That's what I said. Why are you giving that match away on SmackDown? Do you really got to pull a rating on a Friday night? No, I don't know.
True. I mean, last show, the one that last week, it was actually 2.5 million. That was the best rating all throughout these past 2 years. You know, the last one that it was really good from like 2019, before COVID time, all of that. So, hey, I mean, you see that like the interest in people are coming back slowly but surely, but they're doing that. What do you think about this? Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan. She beat Natalia when it comes to Rousey, and Liv came out with like a bat, and she doesn't know how to swing the bat.
Yeah, Liv,
I mean, she got like all like Viper spit, and I mean, she shows intensity. She shows like will. She shows, you know, violence. Like, it's gonna be interesting what they can do with this. But I feel Ronda might win.
I mean, I almost think Ronda has to. What Liv can't beat her 3 times, and it's in this Extreme Rules match. So I don't know. Liv, to me, she had the run. She was almost better when she didn't have the title and she was chasing, and you thought, okay, maybe she'll win the Women's Royal Rumble, or okay, she won Money in the Bank. Okay, now she has a chance. But then when she has it, kind of like, sometimes when you see people, they get the belt and you're like, ooh, maybe they weren't ready to be champ. We thought they were ready, but now they're not ready. And I don't think she's not ready. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know if it's just she's not good at cutting promos and she's like a deer in the headlights when she's out there. But like you said, the swing in the bat was awkward and everything, and just
she tried to, and Ronda just goes like, "Hey, kid, come on."
I still don't believe her with the promos. Like you said, she cuts these promos, and then Ronda's just like, "Screw you, you little kid." Like Ronda just shits all over her. But Ronda to me is so good as a heel. If she loses again, you're wasting the best version of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, no, it's true. And especially to Liv, and nothing bad with Liv Morgan, because like she has the will. She's trying. She's putting in her best work. It's not enough.
I still like Liv Morgan. I'm just saying, but like with all the other women you have, you can take the belt off. You can put the belt back on Liv in the future, but it might be time to take it off her for right now.
And probably Charlotte will come back. We don't know. Since they need another big feud, and SmackDown doesn't have a lot of girls. Shotzi is there, Raquel is there, but like, do you really feel that like those are like girls worthy of like an opportunity with Liv? I don't know. Ronda has to get the title and then go back with Charlotte, because they need something really strong. For it's gonna Crown Jewel is coming, Survivor Series is coming. They need solid structures for like solid like matches. Solid like stuff for like what is going to be those pay-per-views. Good promo here by Karen Cross. Scarlett, him without Scarlett feels so empty, just because like she adds so much, like the the mystique, the mysterio, all of that, the mystery, all of that stuff. I like this, but the strap match I feel is going to be cool. What do you think about like the thing that came out, the botch that they had last week?
Oh, the fireball?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, I heard Jim Cornette talk about it. I heard some other people talk about this and that. I mean, it's one of the things where maybe she practiced it and it came off fine in practice, and then when it's live TV, you shit the bed. Or, some people said, if she used one of those wrist shooters for the fireball, those don't work as well as just having the paper in your hand and just lighting it with a lighter and just throwing it. I mean, hey, it is what it is. She tried it before in NXT. You don't need the hokey shit. He's a big motherfucker, and so is Drew McIntyre, and they're gonna beat the shit out of each other. That's all you need.
That's the whole. That's
all you need.
Nothing else. Absolutely.
And they're in a strap match, so nobody can run away, nobody can hide, and they're gonna beat the shit out of each other, and we're gonna love to see it. You don't need the fireball. You don't need anything else. That was the same thing like when Keith Lee, remember? Keith Lee, and my face. No, you don't need it.
And remember, doctor, no doctor, no. Just don't repeat yourself. Literally, he's gonna like end up in a botch.
That's the only thing I'll say. I won't be like, because I mean, hey, maybe it was Karrion and Scarlett's idea, but I don't think it is. I think it was, the creatives.
Yeah.
You don't need it, so I'm not gonna blame anybody, the talent or anything, but you don't need it. Just stick to the wrestling.
Exactly, just stick to the wrestling. So after that, we keep seeing these vignettes. White Rabbit. You get to see that. Is he Bray Wyatt? You think that like a lot of people say Karen Cross? What's going on here? A lot of people saying that like Extreme Rules will mark.
It's obviously it's all Bray Wyatt and everything involved. And people say, oh, he should get Liv Morgan and Dexter Lumis and this and that. No, those are all people you're trying to get over on your own. And if they're in a group with Bray Wyatt's the only one who's supposed to get over, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the leader. So that brings all those people down. Yes. No, so it's not Karrion. For all those people that think, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, get your heads out of your ass, because that's not how it's going to work, unless you don't want to see any of those other guys succeed and you only want to see Bray Wyatt succeed, because the only person who succeeds in a group is the leader. Ask all of Jericho's groups. Ask all of anybody's groups.
The Jericho Appreciation Society. Yeah. We're going to talk about Jericho. It's coming, so stay tuned.
So, that's the thing. It's just, this is just Bray Wyatt and his solo thing. He could maybe bring a Liv Morgan in who loses. Maybe she gets pissed off. He could maybe bring in Alexa Bliss again if you'd want to revisit that. But I think the best way to do it is just have it be Bray Wyatt on his own, which that's what I think it is.
Yeah, no, and then again, just bring him on his own. Whole new storyline. Like they've been pumping that, a lot of theories. People just like, you know, like 1911 that he had on the hat, like a lot of codes, things like that, like a lot of clues what is going to be the return of the Fiend Bray Wyatt. I mean, do I think that like he on a personal level, do you want him to return? I'm not really interested. I'm like, you know, if he comes back, cool. If he doesn't, you know, I'm not a fan.
I mean, the only thing I'll say is, like I said, they're missing a lot of stars. They're missing somebody that feels main event. Maybe when Bray cuts that first promo, when he's in that ring and he has that match and we hear that crowd, maybe we'll think differently. I mean, the one thing I'll say is it can't hurt. It can't hurt nothing.
True. It's true.
I'm not saying that the show's that bad, but, you know, Bray Wyatt, you know, coming to Raw, SmackDown, whichever show, I think he'll improve.
Probably Raw, because they need, you know, they need that style. Like you said it the best. Main event. They need a guy that feels main event. You know, because Bayley beating Shotzi Blackheart is not main event. Bayley's just trying to do her best work. Ever since the return, she's been okay. I feel like she needs more matches. Like you can tell that she's a bit
and Shotzi's a little reckless. She kind of hit the knee, and Bayley was kind of like, so. Like, that's the knee that was just repaired, you know.
Don't be bullshit, you know.
Shotzi wrestles almost, it reminds me of like a Sabu. Like, she's just like, I'll just fucking throw myself, and here we go. You know,
exactly.
So, but I mean, this was the same thing as Io Sky versus Bianca Belair we talked about at the top of the show, where it's just, you know, they're going to put on a pretty good match, but obviously Bayley needs to win, keep that momentum going into the ladder match at Extreme Rules. And I was, you know, mistaken earlier when I said, you know, it's a ladder match. So, you know, it's probably no DQ because you just pull the title down. So obviously they can get involved. Shotzi can get involved as well. So it'll be all damage control. Probably Shotzi, Io, and Asuka, and Alexa Bliss, whoever. They'll have so many people getting involved. It might be women's, bring everybody in.
Yes.
You know who? I don't know. It'll be crazy, but no, I think Bayley's still gonna win. She needs to win.
Bayley needs to win. It's been good for Bianca. You know, great feud. You know, she got the thing with Becky. She got all of that stuff. A little okay, you know, with Alexa Bliss. You know, not really having the main feud.
But she's another one. Bayley's not gonna hold the belt forever.
No.
You know what I mean? Bianca's already 2-time women's champ. Or SmackDown. Was she the? Or no, she's the Raw champion.
She was never NXT, but she has a SmackDown and Raw. She won the Royal Rumble, so it's like, what is really?
Yeah, you know what I mean. She's a good pedigree, and she could be. You know, I don't know who you have for the women lined up, this and that storylines. Maybe she even wins Money in the Bank again, or Money in the Bank. You know, whatever. If you want to have her win the accolade, you know, you could do that. Or she wins the Elimination Chamber. You know, whatever. If they do a women's Elimination Chamber. However they do it, you know, Bianca can get. She's always going to be in the main event. Look,
exactly. Like Bianca, you know, she's got a great year, and it's time for Bayley to just take the division to more like a heelish level, like you said.
See, that's the thing where we get confused because we have all these people on both shows. We're like, who the hell's going against which title and this and that?
Yes, you know, absolutely true, Paul. And you know, in the main, we're going to see, like I said. You know, next week this is going to be good. We'll talk about this a little bit, but like, you know, the type of match that they can give us is going to be great. Again, title is not going anywhere, you know, from the hands from Gunter. I'm hearing Paul, and I want your thoughts right here, right now, in this very ring. Gunter against Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 39. As far as right now, Saturday, October 1st, that's the plan.
Is that your prediction, or is that WWE?
No, you know, like Triple H, you know, like we talk a little bit every now and then.
I mean, the only thing I'll say is that,
you know,
if that's the case, does that mean Roman is still the champ going into WrestleMania? Because
the plan is The Rock. The plan is like Dwayne Johnson, or like how many people are calling him now, Black Adam.
I mean, Black Adam. That movie looks badass. That's the only thing I'll say about that. I don't want to go too off topic, but. To me, I mean, that's legit shit. The belt should already be off Roman for that feud. Roman should, because that's a feud that
doesn't need the belt.
People might think, oh well, Roman was the champ for so long, he's finally not the champ. I don't want to watch his match no more because I've seen him so much. But if he's against The Rock, you'll want to see it. You know what I mean? So that's the only match that I think will still keep Roman as the main event because he's The Rock. But
again, you don't need the title, though.
Where's Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes will be back by WrestleMania. You're telling me he's not going to? What's him? Cody Rhodes versus Bobby Lashley? No, both these guys.
I feel that like you need.
I mean, you got to do something to me. If you don't unify the belts, take one of them off Roman, so at least one other person can have a main event match. You know, do something. I mean, don't get me wrong, because I said, you know, my favorite match at Clash at the Castle involved Walter. My favorite match of the year involved Walter when he went against Ilya Dragunov. So if it's Walter and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, sign me up. It don't matter for the belt, but I feel that these guys should be in the main event.
I feel that like it's gonna be like a good match, but again, you know, like knowing what the current plan is, I'm a little bit disappointed of where they can, you know, what the outcome is gonna be. But regardless of that, we're gonna see that next week. That's gonna be the main event because it's the first.
And I mean, this was a great way to set this up. I love how you had All Imperium. They came out. The entrance was all legit. They said like, "Oh, the Brawling Brutes, they're bullshit." Blah blah blah. And like I said, they called them out. Sheamus came out. Well, they didn't even call him out. They were just saying, "Oh, they were bullshit," and Imperium's great. Sheamus came out. They had him in the ring. I mean, they just beat the piss out of him.
Yeah.
You know, they jumped him, and I mean, it was great. And it built it up, and you set it up. And as they're walking away, Sheamus is like, "Is that all you got?" They go back in the ring and they beat him up some more, and they kept the heat.
That's the beauty of Sheamus, you know.
The Brawling Brutes didn't come out and, you know, beat him up with a chair and, you know, negate their heat. This isn't AEW. The heels actually left with the heat, and it was good.
It goes good. I like what I saw because, again, you know, Sheamus keeps reinventing himself. Like, you know, he goes from like obscurity to clarity. You know, like there will be months, you know, pay-per-views that like he doesn't even show up. You know, we don't know about him. We don't know what he's doing.
Serious feud with a serious heel and Walter.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
And, you know, and probably Walter said, you know, what out of all the guys, who do you want? Sheamus. Right there. Beauty. Right there.
He probably wants to work with his European guys. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
And Sheamus isn't afraid to get his ass whooped.
Especially in probably Walter or Gunter can be, you know, okay, I'm gonna chop the hell out of you. Yeah, that's fine, you know, that's fine, mate. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So talking about mate, you know, we got a triple main event or like a, you know, I think we got a Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, because we had Austin Theory. Yeah, he was talking shit. He's like, yeah, you know, my match at Clash at the Castle was bullshit. But, you know, at least I'm not Drew McIntyre losing in front of my family. You know, he's such a, you know, a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Essentially calling him out. And then Drew was like, you. And he overheard this. He's like, you, me in the ring now. They had the match, you know, shush, please. And it's like, oh, my God, is this Monday Night Raw? Again, what's going on here? They came out, interrupted the match, set up the main event. Big thing I don't like with Triple H. Again, what was your booked main event when these people bought their ticket and they looked at their program? You should always have a main event book. It shouldn't be booked during the show. To me, that just takes me out of it as a person if I was running a show. Because, like, really? Unless you go, or the announcers need to sell it. And go, oh, well, our scheduled main event was this, but that will have to be postponed, or that will be later on, or blah, 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 because now we have this. Acknowledge it as a thing that happened that changed the scheduling of your show. Exactly.
Well,
acknowledge him. But
Michael Cole gave a huge hint of like who would be facing Austin Theory at WrestleMania. He said, "Oh, it seems like Austin Theory needs an attitude adjustment from this." So they said,
I remember hearing that line.
So
but I mean, you know, then this, like I said, you know, you had the picture there of Drew with the strap, setting up the main event. That was Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Johnny Gargano against Austin Theory and Alpha Academy. Big Claymore kick. Was it on Theory or was it on Gable?
No, it was on Theory. It was on
Theory. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win. Then he gets the strap and insult to injury. Thankfully, he only whipped him once, and then he rolled out of the ring. He's probably like, dude, you know, I'm already buried. I'm like, it's like the Undertaker. I'm buried, you know, buried alive match. I'm done. You know, you guys bury me every week. Can you only whip me once, please? Thank you. Rolls out of the ring. You know, Drew essentially is like carrying cross. This is what's going to happen to you. Again, look at this guy. You know, no insult to the Intercontinental Championship, and I know they're trying to bring it up, but do these two guys look like they would be like in the main event scene where it's like, oh, after this, we're going to go the main event title? No, these are the mid-card title. No, and if the Intercontinental title is going to be one of your main titles, I mean, Walter's the guy to put it on, and like I said, maybe that's us as fans. We need to break that mindset of thinking of that title as a mid-card title and think of it as a singles male championship.
Paul, that's their job. That's not our job. That's their job.
And I think putting the belt on Walter, though, is the main way to do it.
Yes. Yes, I feel that Walter is the guy that like can take us to the path, but like he needs good contenders. Like in Sheamus, is the first good step. We need a little more than that. But that was SmackDown Paul. So like let's switch gears, talking about a
I'll tell
little
you
bit of
one way to get
AEW.
Walter over before we quick end this. You want to get him over? Have it beat Roman clean in the ring.
There you go. I mean, like Roman at some point he should face Gunther. That would be great, and everybody will be kind of. So this is WWE for you guys. So we're gonna have just a little bit more on that. There's one more story, but let's go to AEW. Let's switch gears. So we're gonna hit another song rather. So like every show has its own song and its own debut and all of that, guys. What do you think about this AEW Dynamite poll? Because I mean, the show didn't even do a million viewers, but I mean, the card outside of like the Ring of Honor Championship, to me, a little decent. What do you think?
I mean, to me, you have John Moxley, Juice Robinson. John Moxley winning the belt. I mean, he was the safe bet, but AEW was hot when they had the buzz. Oh my God, we're going to see CM Punk and MJF again. And okay, this is awesome. And then everything happened with the media scrum and what happened afterwards. And then AEW was the rumor, they were flying and everybody wanted to know what was going on. And that was the talk of the town. Nobody even cared about Clash at the Castle, that happened the day before because everybody was focusing on this. Then when things kind of calmed down and okay, those guys are suspended and here's our show we're presenting, John Moxley's our new world champ. To me, unless you're those 600 to 700 some thousand diehard fans, and to me those are the diehards, they get plus or minus a couple 100,000, but to me it's 600 to 700,000 are the diehards. They're in it, and they're the ones that go to every show, go here, go there, they travel, whatever they live, but they're the ones who care and they love it and they're drinking the Kool-Aid. But everybody else, I mean, I think we're bored of this, and we're just, we don't have those main event guys. MJF is good, but some of the stuff he's involved in, not so much. And
now, see, they kill MJF because right away he should have gone to the title picture. That's what That's why.
But then you see Hangman Adam Page, and we'll talk about the show out of order because it's our show. We don't care, and we don't care about AEW Dynamite either. Hangman Page, he wins that battle royal, and he's the guy who is the reason that CM Punk is suspended. If you think about it, he's maybe not the one who brought the matches and brought the gunpowder, but he's the one who stroked the match, and he's the one who who lit the fuse, so to speak. But I mean, then you reward this guy with a title opportunity, and then MJF, I'll fight who goes out, whoever wins this, blah blah blah. But then he's feuding with Wheeler Yuta, and people go, "Oh my God, he feuded with Wheeler Yuta and CZW. This is so good long-term booking." Those are those 600 some thousand that just live in the wrestling universe, and that's all they care about.
And
everybody else doesn't give a shit, because if they're watching this show, they go, well, MJF is, this guy's awesome in this, no, I mean, Wheeler Yuta, to me, he's the same thing with Liv Morgan. I'm not saying he don't have it or he won't have it in the future, but the guy's not main event. Stop trying to push them as main event.
And again, MJF is like the hottest guy that comes back. I mean, I understand you don't have CM Punk. Why you put him in the feud with Yuta? Why? They're not even like thought of toe to toe when it comes to promo work. Why you do that? There's no reason to destroy all. And
Wheeler Yuta's awkward, bad promos brings MJF down. It's not like MJF is so good he brings Wheeler Yuta up. No, Wheeler Yuta is so bad he brings MJF down. Yes. It's not good. Like you said, Hangman, Adam Page, and Moxley. Does anybody care? No, Moxley's gonna win. Nobody is. Well, you gonna put the title on Hangman? That'll draw Tony Khan a lot of heat if he does that. So no, Moxley's gonna win. Again, nothing feels exciting. Nothing feels. I mean, Saraya, she's back. She cut a promo. That's exciting.
What do you think of this?
But the one thing I'm gonna say is this, because we haven't talked. We missed last week, but she's going into one of the craziest, untrained, just reckless, potato throwing women's divisions in all of wrestling.
Yes.
How many times is a Chris Statlander or a Red Velvet or a Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa, any of them?
Ruby Soho,
hurt. You said Ruby Soho, Ty Conti. They're either hurting each other or hurt all the time.
Because they go with everything.
Saraya
absolutely everything.
is one wrong super kick away, from a wheelchair. And I'm not trying to make an awful joke, but it's the truth. It's, what did she pass a physical? Did she go through training? Did she go through the stem cell thing like Edge and Bryan Danielson and all them? Or, is her neck strengthened or whatever it was? Was it her neck or spine? I forget. But, is she good? Because I don't, this woman, she does have a passion for wrestling.
Yes.
And you see that. And I don't want to see her paralyzed or, permanently, I don't know, something. You don't want to see anything happen to her. But, really? I don't know if this is the best thing. And, we're not going to see her wrestle right now. We kind of saw, she set up the lumberjack match. What was that? Was that this week or last week?
No, this was this week. Well,
this
she
week.
has the promo, she kind of throws a little bit of shade on WWE. Hey, this is my house now. I love what I'm doing here. I'm the revolution. I'm the girl that started everything. And she just keeps going a little bit. And she said, well, when I was in the other company, nobody heard my ideas. Nobody let me be myself. And a lot of people kind of like conflicting reports. For example, a lot of people, fans saying, you did all this stuff, like whether, your videos, private videos, you did all of that. The thing with Alberto Del Rio. All of that bad press, yet the company always kept you. It even gave you like roles on backstage, things like that. Made you a manager, and then you go back and you throw shade. Saraya kind of
and another thing too, I'll say, I didn't even mention with all the women, Julia Hart, when she took that awful bump at the table. Yeah. And if she would have hit her head or her neck on the guardrail, she could have maybe snapped her neck. Yeah. You don't know what could have happened, and they make Sting 62. 3 years old, they make Sting jump through tables. What are they going to ask? What are they going to ask Paige to do, or Saraya, whatever? What are they going to ask her to do? But it's one of those things where, again, I don't want to see her get hurt. To throw shade at WWE again, it's what those diehard fans, the ones that, and she's even one who said it too. Why choose a side? Well, then why cut a promo that picks a side? If you say why choose a side, but those diehard fans, they choose the side. It's anti-WWE, and that's, whatever. That's their choice. It is what it is. But
and supposedly they were trying to get her back. Right before she signed with AEW, they were trying to get her back because Triple H actually wanted her back. But there you go. She chose to go to the other side. Hey, the one thing I can confirm to you, she is not clear to wrestle as of now.
There's
Whether
no way.
she will get clear in the future, that's a different story. But as of now, she's not clear to wrestle. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, the match that they Toni Storm has with Serena Deeb, absolutely great match. Toni makes at least the division believable because there's never been a doubt about Toni Storm about how she wrestles. Madison Rayne is there. I love Madison Rayne all the time on Impact. We've done the Impact videos. That's really cool. Lumberjack match. To me, crappy idea just because it's let's put all the women there and to me that.
Yeah, but I mean, who else is there? Now,
but I mean, regardless of that, Serena is always amazing. Unfortunately, she doesn't have what it looks to be a main event woman. But I think that was a great match.
Now, who do you move on to?
That's the thing.
They have nobody in that division. Nobody's main event.
The only one that you have is Jade.
But Jade has that title, and Jade is like a Braun Strowman right now. It's okay, she's not good. If you put her in the ring with somebody and you want a Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, you're not going to get it. You can't.
No.
Because Jade's not that good. Jade goes in there, she does her moves, this and that, but a lot of times her matches are sloppy, and that could just be her opponents. You know.
But I mean, for what it is.
Jade in that universe, to those diehards, when they chant, they go crazy. In that universe, she feels main event, but they're not going to do champ versus champ. But they gotta build up women
again, and that's what you need to do is just make her drop that belt somehow. Maybe again, like we said, Asuka in the NXT. I'm relinquishing this title because I have nothing else to prove, nothing else to do with it. I'm gonna go and pursue new things. Hey, I'm gonna go for the AEW World Women's Championship. There you go. Then you have the match with Storm. Yet you have the undefeated streak in the middle. But if you make her lose, is it worth it to lose that streak? That main thing, that uniqueness to Toni Storm? I don't think so. You give Jade the title.
I mean, I just think I think they really don't know, and they book their women's division week to week. I don't think he really has a long-term plan. Even if he says, "Oh, I book 6 years in advance." No, you don't.
Oh no. Like, it doesn't have any of that. So let's go to the main event quick. Chris Jericho against Bandito. A lot of people like loving this match.
The
Bandito
Ocho.
was offered a contract poll right after that.
What do you think of Jericho's name, the Ocho?
Ocho, like it's like number 8.
He's so bullshit. He is so. This is the dumbest thing. It's all just to shit on Ring of Honor and make it a joke. I mean, okay, Bandito's not bad. Whether you like the lucha style, I think Bandito can wrestle a wrestling match. Bandito's pretty good. I think if you put Bandito in there with a real serious competitor, he can have a really good match. So I had nothing really against Bandito. But I mean, Jericho, the match was all right. Jericho, what did he do? Poke him in the eyes or whatever to get the lion tail? He cheated. It's all about, and then he couldn't see the ropes to use one of his rope breaks. But it's all about,
no pun intended.
But it's all about cheating and pretty much like shitting on the Ring of Honor rules and everything involved. And he goes after, I want to attack all the Ring of Honor announcers and this and that. And he beats up the ring announcer or whoever. It's the stupidest shit you ever seen. He's not going to shake. He doesn't do the code of honor where he shakes the hand and all and does the bow and everything like that. Nothing like that. I mean, they're setting it up that he's eventually going to have the match with Bryan Danielson, and hopefully Danielson takes it off him, and then we can go back to the legit, Ring of Honor and the good stuff that we all like. But I mean, no, this to me isn't good. It's just Jericho going, oh, Claudio was kind of hot. And people were going, oh, FTR is good and Ring of Honor. Okay, if they would actually get a good show, they have some legit champions, Samoa Joe, all this stuff, this, that. Okay, it's awesome. Jericho goes, oh, I want some of that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And now Claudio looks like, a pile of dog
again,
shit.
Dead. Dead. That's it. And then they wonder why Malachi Black went ballistic and then he started all this thing. Because it's like, if you start me good, keep me good. Don't just make me, don't give me all this publicity. Don't give me all this push.
To me, they always want to do segments where somebody jumps somebody 2 seconds into their promo. It should have been the week after Jericho won the belt. He could be cutting a promo. Should have been like him, Wheeler Yuta, Danielson, whoever, even Regal. Regal would have bat. They jump in and start beating him up. Oh, you want to disobey the code of honor, huh? You want to cheat in our match, and they start beating him up, whatever. And they have a rematch. Claudio loses once and just done, gone. See you later.
And then and you don't want to do anything else.
But then his friend Brian, that would be like, somebody loses $100 or something, and then your best friend goes, oh, don't worry, I'll go find your $100 and I'll just keep it for myself. No, that's Claudio's, but his friend Bryan Danielson, they're in the same group. He has
to fight his battles.
Is just going to go fight his battles and is just going to go take what's supposed to be Claudio's, because technically Jericho cheated. Jericho didn't obey by the code of honor in that match, so he cheated. So that, technically Claudio has an out, but again, he looks like a fool. He has nothing involved in this. Jericho wins. To me, it's not good, and AEW just not good, like you said. They didn't even break 1 million. So, what does that say?
And, there's all the controversies not really playing out to gain more viewership or to gain more expectation from people. There's not that much interest.
Yeah, because people know, okay, CM Punk, he got the surgery. He's done. He's suspended. Nothing like that. The Bucks, we don't know. Okay, Kenny Omega suspended. Bucks suspended. But we don't know when they're coming back. Like you said, there's nothing exciting, so nobody's really watching. Nobody cares.
Nobody. Exactly. I mean, the thing for Full Gear, we know the plan is going to be MJF against Moxley. That's going to be great. But we already seen this match also. Remember, we saw this already.
And that's when we said MJF should have won.
Yeah, exactly. MJF should have won. You didn't want to do it. You have to do it right now. You have to please pull the trigger on that, because otherwise MJF will never be the type of wrestler that you want to be. And whether he wants to join WWE or not, the easiest way for him to keep him there is just give him the title. So this is all we have for this week, Paul. Anything other news that we have, we have more build up next week for what it is. Extreme Rules, we'll be doing that. Also, we'll be doing Impact, Bound for Glory. A lot of good stuff is going to be there. That's their biggest show. Unfortunately, like you always said, Impact does not have the outlets or at least the right booking to keep the show legit. They have
Impact has talent, but I feel like the booking is I mean, they even have Ring of Honor. They even have Ring of Honor, Honor No More guys, and they're at least presenting their Ring of Honor guys at somewhat seriously compared to AEW. But the only other thing I'll say is on Friday Night SmackDown, they broke the news to us. It broke it to me. I didn't hear it anywhere else, but I guess it was Yahoo Japan who broke the story originally. Antonio Inoki passed away yesterday, I believe in the morning. Or are we after midnight? Yes, we are. So it was Friday morning, I believe. So, you know, it's one of those things where he was obviously, you know, if you don't know his pedigree, look it up. But, you know, the one thing I do like is they even mentioned that he had that unrecognized title reign. I think the WWF was doing like a house show run, or maybe it was just the WWF, whatever, was doing a house show run in Japan. And I think whoever was the champ dropped the title to Inoki for that run, whether it was a week, 2 weeks, whatever it was. And then before they left Japan to come back home, he dropped the title. He dropped the title back, but because it was just a house show run and it was only in Japan and it wasn't filmed or, you know, televised, whatever, it wasn't a recognized run.
Yes.
But they mentioned it on commentary that it happened and this and that, and you know, it was one of those things where that was really cool that they put it over. You know, and obviously he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, but you know that doesn't mean anything. He really didn't do too much there in that company. But I mean, they had the working relation.
Paul, right? He was also part in the game, and a playable character in the game. The last appearance that he had was probably in the episode of Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, the Dark Side of the Ring, where they talked about, you know, and that's still the record, the largest drawing crowd for any wrestling show when they did that in North Korea. Yeah. I mean, again, the guy has a pedigree. You know, he introduced MMA. The list goes on and on. There's YouTube videos, documentaries. He fought Muhammad Ali, and that was supposed to be a shoot fight, but then they thought, oh my God, Inoki's going to kill him, and he's going to make our biggest star look like a loser. So they told him you can't do any wrestling holds and you can't use your hands, and that's why he was crab walking, and he was just kicking him in the ankles for 15 minutes. But
well, it's in the team. That's the passion of this guy.
Like we said, you know, you just got to, you know, just watch documentaries, watch this stuff, but it's sad to say Antonio Inoki, you know, we all feel, you know, his presence in wrestling.
Figures in pro wrestling, one of like the guys that brought that into the, you know, Asia, and you know, he brought it into the United States. He wanted to cross over, like, you know, with America. Great guy, and you know, we feel all sad because of his passing. But you know, also we gotta get going, guys. But remember, next week is gonna be more stuff for you. So please, you know, help us out subscribing, hit the bell for notifications, give us out like comments, let us know what you guys feel. Also, remember, we're on absolutely every single outlet on the social media waves. So Paul is gonna tell us where. So, you know, go ahead.
Yeah, Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...